Well, hello there, Chubs fans. Welcome to Chubs Gone Wild number 408, recorded on August 21st, 2021.
It's the 23rd.
What?
It's
Oh,
the 23rd.
huh. Well, that makes my calculations off.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I had the 21st on the brain. In fact, I had a board meeting this weekend and we said it was the 21st and it was like the 18th or something. I don't know. Wait a minute. Maybe I just jumped into another multiverse. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Today's high is going to be about 84 outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios.
Yeah.
Where it is
84 in Sacramento in August.
I know.
I mean, I love it. I don't understand it, but I love it.
Yeah, it is really, really nice because usually now is when we are having those 100 and something degree days.
Well, when I was in Napa on the 21st, it was 72 for a high.
That's amazing.
I know. It was like I should have brought a light jacket.
Oh,
well, because at night, it dropped into the 60s before sunset, and once in the 60s, once in the at night, it got cooler and cooler, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing for August.
Yeah. Well, so you went to Napa, huh? Well, I'm sure you'll talk about that during your week, but
I will.
You didn't. I guess I wasn't invited, but anyway,
you're right.
On. All right, it is, I think, 69 days till Halloween, 124 until Christmas, 42 until Thanksgiving in Canada, 94 until American Thanksgiving, and 132 days until season 2 of Call Me Cat.
Did you know that tonight? Oh, not tonight. Wednesday night or Thursday night this week, they're going to have 2 episodes on Fox.
Are they? They're not new episodes.
No. They're older episodes. I mean, season 1 episodes. Yeah. But they did say on the thing, Call Me Kate will have 2 episodes on this week before they start their 2nd season this fall.
This fall?
That's what they said. But we know that's not true. It's a winter replacement.
I was gonna say, how could they knock it out that quick?
Oh, come on! When they're written, you throw a chimpanzee in with a box of crayons. It's easy to write a script.
That's true. That's how they, wound up with that Ted Lasso thing.
But anyway. The Emmy-nominated Ted Lasso thing.
Yes, which I am going to be probably starting to watch this week.
Oh,
on your recommendation.
It's what I like about the show is even the unlikable characters are likable. I mean, you root for them.
Yeah,
that's how well the writing is done. I mean, you're compassionate towards even the. I mean, there's first of all, the guy who's the big asshole on the team. He's the biggest. I think the biggest asshole on the team. He's the one that's been around the longest. His career is starting to wane. So he's kind of like the Chris Christopherson character in A Star Is Born. Not really, but I'll use that as an example.
Okay.
He likes to take off his clothes, and he is gorgeous. So
I'm all in. Yeah.
So even though he's like calling this person, fucker, and this one's a cunt, you go, I don't care. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're beautiful. And then afterwards, his snarliness, it becomes attractive. So I'm sorry, finish what you were saying.
Oh no, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my God, no one understands because nobody I know watches the show, so I'm hoping, because Sean's like going, I don't see what you see in him, and I'm like, of course you don't. He's 200 pounds light for you, but it's just like, all of a sudden I've got an interest in soccer.
Wow. You remember that German gay soccer movie a while back? Probably, maybe 10 years ago?
No.
Okay. Well, it was a lighthearted romance, which was one of the first ones that they really had out, and it had soccer.
Is this really you talking about a story that you've written into a book?
No. Although, let me tell you, soccer players and ice hockey players. Oh my God, there's so many fucking romance books about them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, gay hockey players. There's probably, I don't know, a couple hundred of them out there.
Wow, that's weird because there aren't any openly gay hockey players.
Really? I thought there was one.
No, that he's a football player.
Oh, I'll tell you that openly gay baseball player. That was tasty. Anyway, moving on. Yay, call me Cat. All right, we also have 36 days until Mavon, which runs September 21st through 29. And when celebrating, it is common to make offerings to the deities or ancestors of food, drink, grains, herbs, milk, wines, incense, baked goods, minerals, etc. So go shopping, buy a bunch of stuff, put it on your altar or table or whatever, light a candle, maybe some incense, and offer it to whoever before you eat it. Because, it'll go bad otherwise.
I was watching a paranormal caught on camera.
Oh,
they're so good. And there's this one where this guy has laid out. He's in some Middle Eastern country. He lays out this table with offerings for something. I don't know what it was. And he was kind of freaking out because things would disappear from it. And so he set up a camera and he saw this like squirrel thing come in and steal some of the food from it. And then, but he was still filming it. And then he saw something else, like a shadow, come in and start messing with the altar. That was obviously not caused by anything human. So it was really cool. So yeah, make sure that, you can eat the stuff, or the squirrel can, but make sure that you offer it ahead of time, because it was real. It was really scary is what it was.
I imagine that would be pretty scary to see.
Yeah, you would love the show.
Yeah, I think hate would be more of it. And just because, I don't want to deal with, I don't like being scared. I had enough of that when I was a kid. I don't need it now. But yeah. Anyway.
But you watch scary movies on Prime that suck.
I did? When? What?
Well, there's this one where these people were on a ship, and
that was sci-fi. You don't get many. The biggest thrill or scare you get out of sci-fi is when they do that thing, like when somebody turns around and something's right there, or you see a reflection in the mirror, or that like type scare. Sometimes, I usually expect it, and actually one of the things I found is when I'm expecting a scare like that, if I turn down the volume, it's not as scary.
Well, yeah, I remember the first Alien. I was watching it at home, not the first time, but Alien. And I noticed that when there was something coming up that was scary, you could hear the sound of the ship. It got louder in the background, and it sounded like a heartbeat.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so it's amazing how they do that in movies. Is they either do that with, like, the music will go and they're like, what's that noise? And I'm like, it's that music, it's driving me crazy. But it makes you tense. It kind of, remember the Alien theme. I'm not the Halloween theme.
Yes.
Dun 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 dun. It's like, I don't know why, but I'm running.
And they use minor keys for that music too. Yeah. So minor keys are more offsetting than the major keys.
Yeah, they bother your ear.
Yeah. What was that? Gosh, what was I? Oh, the other thing that I've noticed with some of the movies lately is what they'll do is they'll have the real scary, like something's going to happen and then nothing happens, and then there's complete silence, and all of a sudden, duh, And you're like, ah, you fooled me. Kind of. Anyway, so today we also celebrate some other holidays, including Buttered Corn Day. Ugh. I loved corn as a kid. I loved corn on the cob, slather it with butter and salt and just gnaw on it. Now, no. As you get older, things process differently. Also, Cuban Sandwich Day. We celebrate daffodils, a European day of remembrance for the victims of Stalinism and Nazism. Hug Your Sweetheart Day. Have you hugged your sweetheart today?
Yes, I did.
Aww. International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition. Very important day. Also, Internaut Day. Cheap Flights, Sponge Cake, Ride the Wind, Valentina and Valentino Day. Ride like the wind. You know that song?
Yeah.
Ride like the wind.
You mean Christopher Cross?
Yes, I love Christopher. You know what? You know who's the bigger Christopher Cross fan? The guy behind me in the picture, in the video, right now, my friend Nephi. He is a huge Christopher Cross fan. He even, oh no, that was somebody else that he wrote the letter to. That was Dan Hill. Anyway, Nephi was like a creepy stalker for Dan Hill. It was embarrassing, especially since he was like 14. Anyway, but he loves Christopher Cross, and he totally got me into Christopher Cross music.
Well, I've got a Christopher Cross story.
I know you do. Please tell it though.
Oh, well, you know it already. So
Well, I do, but our listeners don't, and it's a really cool story.
okay, so I was at a friend of mine that I worked with. Remember where we saw Cyndi Lauper?
Mm-hmm.
That great venue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she got what happened was she knew I liked Christopher Cross, and I was hesitant to go. You know, it's just one of those things where you just feel lazy, and it's like, yeah, I'd have a good time, but it could be hot, and I hate those chairs, and so she goes, well, I bought you a ticket, so we're either going or I'm wasting this ticket. So I went with her to the concert, and we had seats like third row.
Wow, that's awesome.
And what was, the concert was great. It was really fun. And then afterwards, I'm heading back to my car basically, because it was we hung out a little while at the venue, and then I was leaving, and then as I'm walking out towards my car, here comes Christopher Cross by himself. He went to the stage to pick up something, and he and I said, "Oh, great concert! I really had a good time. Thank you for playing Talking in My Sleep. It's my favorite song of his." And he goes, "Oh, well, you're welcome." And he shook my hand and then went on. And it was like, oh my God, I just met Christopher Cross.
That's awesome.
I know, it was so cool. And it was like, it would be like, you're walking through the grocery store and there's Corey Hart.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's different because I was at a Christopher Cross concert, so the likelihood of him being there and maybe crossing paths with him would happen. But
me going into a supermarket in Sacramento and Corey Hart, who lives like in the islands in the Caribbean, is there. That my first question would probably be like, "What the fuck?" And my second would be, like, and
I'm a fan girl.
Yes, he would have to be there to see me. He actually kind of knows who I am, so.
Ew, that's because
not in a creepy way, but
there's like certain laws that he's enacting because you're one of those knockers.
There are no, I'm not that kind of fan anymore. But I'll tell you, when I was a kid, though, if I had seen him, I probably would have burst into tears and been one of those people. But now it's different, but I still think he's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so those are some good holidays, and that was a great story. Thank you for sharing that. And today's affirmation: I release the need to criticize. I love, accept, and approve. Well, oh, I can't do that one. So, moving on. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Stas, H from the Unibus, Timothy, Eric, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose B. Please become a patron of the show over at patreon.com/MattBurlingame for as little as $1 a month. And guess what? All the books are sitting right over there, already posted and everything, and going out today. So they will be there in about 5 to 9 days. Yay! So happy. Thank you all. Seriously, our patrons are really awesome, and they allow us to get all our hosting and our domains and everything taken care of. So it really does mean a lot. All right. So I heard that we had some birthdays coming up. Well, we got today's birthdays. Happy birthday to Young, Phil, Richard. Do you remember Richard? He used to be our webmaster back in the theater days. Absolutely adorable. I don't know if you really interacted with him much, but anyway, happy birthday to Richard. Also to Jeffrey. And we have some upcoming birthdays, including author Nikki James. We've got Lanz. Lanz is one of the representatives of our local LGBTQ center. We also got Brian Todd Masterson. I don't know if you remember him, but he is a writer. He was a writer for a number of shows, and he is your gay fat friend. Go find him on Instagram. I promise it's worth it. Also, we got Paj, that diva who was the Ms. Renfield, Madam Renfield, in our second version of Count as Dracula. Also, we got Brian, Daniel, Phil, Kendrick, George, Mark. Alrighty, Bianca. I'm going to say that. I hope I pronounced that right. Also, Noah and Christian. Happy birthday, so many people.
You know, today is also Barbara Eden's 90th birthday.
Wow.
And she still looks fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how good she looks. And I mean, I don't know if she's had the gun under the knife or not, but it doesn't look like it. But she looks so young, it looks like it. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
But
it reminds me, somebody else had a birthday today, another big celebrity that I just really adore. But unfortunately, it's not coming to me, so I won't waste time on it. But happy birthday to all of you people.
River Phoenix? No. Shelley Long, your favorite.
Birthdays. I do love Shelley Long. Does she have a birthday today?
Yeah, she's 72.
Wow.
Scott Kahn, that adorable.
Oh, he is so cute.
45, and Andrew Rennell, from Book of Mormon. He did. I'm not pronouncing his last name correctly, but he is adorable as well. Gene Kelly's birthday is today.
Oh my goodness, Gene Kelly, back in the day when he would dance up a storm in those tight little pants, I don't care, he was cute.
Jay Moore, the comedian, his birthday's today.
Sometimes I like him.
Oh, Rick Springfield's birthday's today.
Oh, Rick Springfield. Oh, he so sent me back when I was a teenager.
I know. I so wanted to be Jessies Girl.
You know what? I actually thought that was a very regressive song because I didn't understand the lyrics. And I actually thought he was saying he wanted to be Jessie's Girl.
Well,
wow.
See, that's what I think the song really is saying. I wish I was just, because he wants to be the girlfriend, not wants the girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly, because I've heard it sung both ways, and it makes so much more sense when it's the guy wants to be in the because he loves the best friend so much that he wishes he was Jessie's girl.
See, that's the way I thought the song was. And I'll tell you, when that came out in the early 80s, a little gay boy who didn't even understand that he was gay yet was just like, oh. But yeah, it didn't really work out that way in the long run. All right. Well, we do have a little bit of something in our feed bag, which comes from Sean, who watches us on YouTube. And he says, Popeye's chicken rules. I think Tom would agree. Yeah, I still need to go get some chicken strips from them.
Well, I'll tell you, they're not open yet, but I'll let you know when they are.
Okay. All right. How about some Chub hugs? You got any you'd like to send out?
Hey, you go first.
Okay. So first off, I want to send Chub hugs out to the displaced evacuees from the fires in California, which are getting closer and closer. In fact, they are very close to the home where Lori Dean, our dear sweet Lori Dean, owns and has friends in. Well, actually, the friends are now evacuated and are here staying with him. And
Well,
then,
and Nate as well.
yes, that's the other person, our friend Nate, who finally I had messaged him right when it happened, and he said yes, they were being evacuated, and all his animals and his husband and everything, everybody's safe. But he did finally get out of Facebook jail and put it on there as well. He keeps saying things like white trash, and now if you say white trash on Facebook, they'll come down on you hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I see other people post all the people of color slurs and not get anything, but you come down on a white person and call them trash. Well,
I remember getting thrown in Facebook jail. Well, actually, I wasn't thrown in jail, but I had promoted some movie reviews because in the day you threw $5 at them and all of a sudden you got 1,500 likes. It actually worked really well, but they stopped letting me do it because I was bullying people because I said that Tom Cruise was a bad actor. And I'm like writing them going, okay, do you even know what I do? I'm a movie, reviewer. I'm supposed to critique these people. I'm not bullying them. I'm talking about how shitty they are. And it's like, you just can't draw a line and say, okay, this means everybody has to follow these rules. And if you are going to tell me I can't do it, then stop sending me a little note every week going, would you like to promote this?
Right. Yeah.
No, because you're just going to pull it on me and then yell at me for doing my job. Fuck you, people.
I will tell you that I agree with you, especially when it came to that Mummy movie.
Oh my God. There's nothing wrong with that movie.
It was a piece of schlock. I don't think I even finished it. And for me not to at least fast forward to the end to see what happens, that's saying something. But the only one, I've gotten a couple on there. I haven't been banned for a couple days, but I did get silenced for 24 hours once because they felt that I was liking posts too quickly. Alrighty then, need to slow down on liking the posts.
Yeah, well, and also for like you or even me, when you're promoting something, and it's like, oh no, you're doing too much posting, and it's like, okay, are you, you're just like not even looking at what you're fighting here. Right. I don't know who's doing this, but
and not to mention I can post, something like, my aunt finally croaked, and I'll get 300 people pouring their heart out, which is very sweet, mind you. It's not the people, but then I'll post something like, yay, my new book is out. and the algorithm will silence it unless I pay for it, and I'll get like 2 likes. So
Oh.
yeah. Anyway, the other chub hug I wanted to send out was to one of our sweet listeners, Mr. Scott. Their pup Macintosh passed away after 14 years, and so it was very sad. And I wanted to send him out some chub hugs and some love. All right, did you have any that you wanted to send out?
Well, I kind of don't want to do it now.
Oh, it's all right. Everybody wants to hear it. They're free.
I know. Well, I just wanted to send out a chub hug to my husband of 8 years as of today. And of course, 8 years today, and our first date was 16 years ago today. So so yeah, that's where my chub hug wants to go to.
Nice.
It's not quite a, a dead
That is
puppy, but
chub hugs are for everything.
I know it's hard to follow that.
And that's really cool. That's very, very cool that it was that. I remember the day vividly. I remember marrying you guys. Oh, that was so sweet. You were all like, no stand up, no speeches. So I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna give you a speech. So
By the way, on the Christopher Cross, he's my friend on Facebook.
mm-hmm.
And did you know that he got COVID so bad that
yeah,
that they thought he wasn't going to be able to walk or be able to play an instrument again?
Nephi just sent me an email about that like 2 days ago. No, yeah. I had no idea, but wow.
Yeah, I've been, I've had him on my friends thing for a few years. So all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I haven't heard much from him. And then he comes on and goes, oh, well, I'm finally to the point of where I can, work my hands again. And I'm like, what?
I think he can walk with a cane now.
Whereas
they thought that he wouldn't be able to walk at all.
He's riding a bike too.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he's improving a lot, and he's playing, he's able to play his instrument again and stuff. It's just it was really, really awful. And it's one of those stories that not too many people heard about COVID, because it didn't affect him the way it affects a lot of people. I mean, he did get I don't know that he was on a ventilator, but he was very sick in ICU, but it was affecting something else on him instead of what people normally think of.
And that's one of the things is that some people don't know or understand is that COVID will bring out things that you may genetically be predisposed to have. In fact, now he has a syndrome that he will have for the rest of his life that he may not have had if COVID hadn't brought it out. It's the same type of way that that's why HIV and COVID are kind of they're similar in some ways, because HIV like shuts down your system and allows rare opportunistic infections, and COVID will leave you with things that you may be predisposed to have but wouldn't have had if you didn't have COVID. And it's just weird.
That's why it's affecting. That's how it's affecting young kids. It's not giving them, the situation of the average person who gets COVID gets. It's taking advantage of these underlying things that no one. I mean, this kid may never have known about.
Right.
If it hadn't been for COVID coming in and taking full advantage of this oddity in the person's system. It's and people don't listen. They don't. I mean, I'm not blaming this child, but I'm blaming the people who aren't taking the vaccines. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, like in Texas, Nephi was telling me that people are finally gone back to wearing their masks in stores.
Yeah,
but he has been to several theater productions in the last in the last month or two, and he says at the theater no one's wearing masks. They're all cramped in their little audience. No one's wearing masks.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you about the concert I went to. Not right now. I'll tell you during my week. But California is much different than Texas.
Yes. Okay. So, any other chub hugs? I mean, that was a pretty good one. Okay, you're good. All right. Well, then moving on to current topics, Biden appoints 2 out advocates to help provide employment for people with disabilities. 2 experienced leaders in the LGBT community and disabled communities will now serve on one of the nation's largest agencies for employment of people with disabilities. That's awesome. Elton John shocks diners with surprise performance at Beachside Restaurant. Even though the song only lasts 4 minutes, it's obvious that John's performance left a lasting impression on the unsuspecting audience. That's very cool. And then finally, residents have built a giant pride flag in view of high school after high school board bans it. I only wish it could be 10 times bigger, one of the organizers said. The school board said that pride flags are divisive because they don't include straight students. Straight people always feel that they need to be included.
Well, no, this is the bullshit that they have been, white people and playing this game forever. It's like, and I kind of understand it, but then I kind of stop and go, but okay, I also understand the other point of this, and it's just that, oh well, why am I not included? It's like this whole thing with the white men right now are feeling left out because everybody is, and I understand it because I'm like, finally, here I am an adult, and it's like I've got to go, but I'm gay, so I don't fall into the white guy category.
Yes. Yeah.
And now they're even saying, oh, you can't pull that gay thing anymore with the young people. They don't care. So if you go, oh well, you go, I'm gay. I've had to, live as a gay man, and they're like, yeah, because they don't know the struggle.
Yeah, my sociology teacher said that gay people can't claim to be disenfranchised because we can stealth. And I'm like, honey, if you knew some of my friends, you knew there's no way they can stealth, huh?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And by the way, you're a 6'4" Amazon dyke. Sorry, nobody believes that, you go home to a husband's unless, anyway, there's a strap on involved. Anyway, all right. So moving on from that. Okay, so that's all good. And by the way, I will say that I believe that straight people are included in the rainbow flag if they are allies. Just saying. And with that, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Oh, it's that time already? Okay, better get off Twitter then. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. This week, RuPaul's Drag Race, they had a lip sync off with the first, gosh, how many girls? I think it's the first 9 girls that got sent away. They did basically the first girl that got sent away lip synced against the second girl that got sent away. And then the winner of that one lip synced against the third, and the winner of that one lip synced against the fourth, and so on and so on. So the whole episode, instead of it being a continual show, we went back and looked at all those girls, and now one of those girls will enter into the top 5. But it was really good. They did a lot of really good songs. For me, with lip syncing, the thing I like about the lip syncing is when I know the song. So like they did Girls Just Want to Have Fun, so that was a familiar song. And it's much more fun when you actually know the song, even if it's one of those disco songs that you don't know any of the words to, but you remember dancing to it at some bar at some point. So so those are okay too. But they left us hanging. We don't know who the winner of the final competition was. We do know that it was against Silky Ganache and Eureka. So both were fat girls.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it's 2 fat girls. One of the fat girls will get back into the top 5 with Ginger Minch, who's also a fat girl. So we're keeping the big girls in there. I think this is the year a big girl's going to win the prize.
I hope so. It's about time. It's kind of like I'm on season 18 of Amazing Race, and finally they had a girl team win.
Right. So yeah, it was fun. Let's see. I think I mentioned this about White Lotus last week about shitting in the luggage.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm still not over that.
You don't get over that easily.
Now, have you seen it online?
No.
The shot? Oh
No,
my,
I
it's
will
just,
not. That will make me probably vomit.
it won't make you vomit, it'll make you laugh. And then you're like gonna go, oh my God, that's so disgusting. Okay. Anyway, Surreal Estate this week was well, I've been doing a lot of paranormal stuff. Surreal Estate is just one of them. And this week was it's just another scare. It was scary because they were trying to sell a house, but anybody that walked into the house was like on a list to die with something poking through their eye.
Ah,
Yeah, it was every 3 days. And but what had happened, the house had gone up for sale. And so anybody that had gone into the house to look at the house within uh, uh, 3 days of the last victim, you would die. And it would be like a weird, you're walking through by a tree and you get a tree limb poked right in your eye and you die. And one person got like this arrow, mysterious arrow came out of nowhere and hit you while they're walking in through a parking lot. So it was kind of weird, but fun. And then let's see, I saw all the new Ghost Adventures of this new season. Got all those out of the way. I saw an Amityville horror documentary that was really fun. So yeah, it was a lot of paranormal, and I can't get enough. But usually all the new seasons of paranormal stuff come out during the summertime, and like you would so love Paranormal Caught on Camera. You can speed through a lot of it because you only see like, oh look, this is what happened, and it was like, oh, that's scary, and then they talk about it for 5 minutes. So then it's not quite as scary. But some of them are so, like these cops were coming down the street and this old back road, and there's like this what looks to be this woman in all white standing on the side of the road, and they're like getting closer, and then she starts to turn around and it's not a human looking creature. I don't know what it was, but those cops turned around and drove away. They were not going to stop and find out what that thing was. It's like, I'm leaving, as I would have done as well.
yeah.
Just fun stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. I'm all caught up in Frankie and Johnny, the first 4 episodes, or Frankie and Grace. Sorry, I would say Frankie and Johnny. Frankie and Grace, still good. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, although I'm enjoying the episodes because I love the captain so much. There's still the baby thing. There's still, I know they didn't even mention the baby, but I feel the baby. So it's ruining it for me. Let's see. Aquafina plays Nora in of Queens. Silly, goofy show, but I really do like it a lot. There's a new show called 9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu,
Yeah.
with Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, and a bunch of other like big actors, Luke Evans and Michael Shannon. Big, it's a big actor show. This is what White Lotus should have been.
Huh.
I'm only through episode 1, but it's just like, this is so much more interesting. I'm intrigued. I want to know what happens now. What is this place they've gone to? What's going on? Where in White Lotus, I'm like, are you going to shit in the luggage again? Otherwise, I don't want to watch. So, and then good news, All Rise, which was my series that was on CBS about the black judge, and had just this great cast of all these these wonderful actors, and that all the storylines were interesting. I was really into it. They got canceled on CBS. It looks like it may get a third season on OWN, Oprah's uh, uh,
Oh,
station. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that one. And then I did go see a concert in Napa on Saturday. And like I said, the weather was beautiful. Napa is just such a cute little town. It really is, especially the downtown area. Really pretty. But we get to the theater, and I go, they're asking for your Vax card, and we didn't bring ours. So fortunately, we Sean remembered that there is at least California, you can go to my Vax information. I'm not sure what it is, but you can go on there, and you put in your name and your birth date, and they will show you your vaccination times when you got your vaccinations by date, and that's perfectly good. Thank goodness we knew that, because when they were turning people away ahead of us, and we go, okay, here, this is the one that's on the phone. And they went, oh yeah, that's fine. And they probably went, well, thank God, we didn't know that was available, because they go, yeah, the theater itself hasn't been open in a year and a half. We were the first show back in the Uptown Theater in Napa. We saw Nikki Glazier, and oh my God, I mean, we've seen quite a few comedy concerts. I've never seen anybody struggle the way this poor woman was struggling in the second hour of her show.
who?
I mean, Nikki Glazier,
Oh,
you'd know her if you saw her. But
okay.
anyway, she's usually really good. She's on all the roasts. She's done quite a few stand-up specials of her own, and it's like because when they come to the Punchline here in town, they're usually trying out new material. But I get that. That's fine, because that's where you come out and you do the little places working new material.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the bigger venues, which this was a bigger venue, and you should have a well-oiled machine. And this thing, she was just like going off on tangents here and there about nothing. At one point, she was talking about how she goes, I want to talk about rape, but everybody says I can't talk about rape since I've never been raped. But if you make jokes about rape and you have been raped, then it's okay because you have been raped. And I'm like, this is like terrible comedy.
Oh,
How is this funny? But we had to have masks on the whole time. And
probably
and
just
I'll,
stuff from
and
vomiting.
I'll tell you, a year and a half has made people forget how to sit through a fucking show. Everybody was getting up, going to the bathroom, going to the bar to get drinks. They were restless. It's like, okay, this isn't that long to sit in a fucking chair and watch somebody do comedy. And granted, as people were leaving in droves at the end, I understood that. But I mean, I don't understand how people have forgotten how to be polite and quiet. And it's like if you're paying money to go, it's like when you go to a movie
Mm-hmm.
and you're watching the movie and you're sitting there talking through the movie, checking your phone in the movie. It's like, okay, why are you even here?
Yeah,
You just paid $12.75 to see this movie,
at
and
least.
you're not paying attention to it. Well, this is like they're paying $50 a ticket and they're not paying attention to what they're watching. I just don't get it. I mean, it's not like it's a football game, which you go there just because. I don't know why you'd go there. I guess the food, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so and my last girl,
Yeah.
I went in there a couple nights ago, and she had broken her back. So
Ah,
and it wasn't one of those where it was just leaning over too much.
yeah.
I've had that before. This actually, it didn't snap off. It creased, and so when they crease like that, you can never get them to stand up again. So I just severed her spine and hung her up in the closet.
That's horrible, especially the way you describe it. So how long until she'll be able to harvest your bud?
I'll probably do it today or tomorrow.
Okay.
And we are talking about my pot plant and not about some
Yes.
child that
After you've scared some people.
I've been turning into like veal.
Right.
Yeah.
So while I wanted to show how easy that was. And while I will not show it on the screen exactly, I went to that site that you just talked about and
Okay.
I got confirmation on my vaccine record.
Yeah.
So it is very easy to do, people.
Right. It's very easy to do. And I mean, yeah, it's simple. And if you, because the problem with at least the cards they handed out in California is they're not credit card size. So they don't fit in your wallet.
Right. Well, mine does, but they folded it in half for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was not. And it's like, it works fine in a lanyard,
Uh-huh.
but those are usually a little bit larger. You know, they're supposed to fit a credit card, but not a credit card, but a business card. And there's usually a little wiggle room in them, so that they're all right for lanyards, but not really that good for, well, let's call it the traditional wallet.
Right. Because I mean, this is the size of it, of course, but they just folded mine in half when they gave it to me, so I just put it right in my wallet. So
Well, that's what I was telling Sean. I go, you could just fold it, and
right.
he's like, yeah, but then every time you open it up and you unfold it, you're taking the risk of it tearing apart, or yeah, blah blah blah. I know.
One of those people. Yeah, and with the are you considering the booster?
Of course.
Yeah, I am too. I know several people who have gotten it, and so.
Well, and the problem,
it's just like the others, it's no big deal, and they didn't have any bad reaction to it.
Right. Well, and I'll warn people about the booster, because the only people right now who should be getting the boosters are people who got their shots in January, their last shot in January. So that's the medical field people and people who were ill over, I think it was 75 at that point, 75 and over. But they shouldn't even be really getting it until September, because that's 8 months.
Right.
Because remember that, like, when you get a flu shot, you don't want to get the flu shot in September because the flu season hasn't started yet. And the flu season usually runs October to like March or April. So if you get your flu shot early, you risk exposing yourself at the end of the flu season. And the same thing here. If you get it, like my sister got it, and she didn't need to, but she got her third shot. She shouldn't have even got her shot until like October or November, but she got it anyway, which means that, okay, so she got it in August. So come March, April next year, it's going to be 8 months. So where other people are not going to need it as fast, she may need to get a fourth one down the line. And right. Right now they're already saying that COVID shots could start becoming like flu shots. That's something you need to get every year, only because the entire world, you can't get rid of a disease if everybody's not protected from it.
Right.
Because once everyone's protected, then no one can give it to each other, and it's done. It'll burn itself out. But if we've got, half of Mexico and half of this country and half of Canada, that means half of the population is still exposed. And then you've got Africa and Asia, and Europe and the Australia, New Zealand. You've got all these extra people who are not fully vaccinated, and they will constantly regurgitate the variants to the point of where, you know, if we get a variant that's worse than the Delta variant.
Well, I don't know if it's worse, but there is another one that is right up there, and that's the Lambda variant, which is
Yeah,
resistant in some cases.
yeah. So it's like it's a nightmare. It's terrible.
Yep, and it could all go away if people just pull their heads out of their ass for like 2 months.
Right.
Seriously, like 2 months. Everybody, just stop being assholes.
I don't think that's going to help.
Nope, never has. Anyway.
Tessa's home.
Oh, how sweet.
Well,
We're
you know,
gonna fling the meat.
Moose had gone on, quick vacation and put Tessa in a kennel, I guess, and she didn't like it. It was funny. Moose had posted a picture of his hubby and him, and there was like this ambulance or fire truck or something, and I said, "Oh my God, what's Tessa done now?" So
yeah, poor baby.
She makes me laugh.
Yeah, the whole pee thing actually made me laugh. So, but gross, but laugh. Anyway. All right. Well, my week has been, it has been, let's put it that way. I haven't been watching many TV shows. I've been so busy trying to follow people around and make things happen and try to find time to sleep, et cetera, et cetera. So I have managed, though, to watch Amazing Race 16, 17, and started 18 last night. I think it was last night. It all blends at this point.
Because they're terrible.
Some of the seasons are like, wow, you guys really wasted a lot of production value on these people who are really stupid, and I'm sad for you. Like season 17 was just the biggest piece of toxic masculinity shit, and I was so glad that a female team won finally. I mean, the men on there were so horribly abusive to the women that they were dragging around, and the women were just like, oh honey, I don't know, it's so stressful when he calls me a stupid slut and tells me that I need to stop talking because I'm the dumbest person in the whole world and he hates me and wants to punch me in the face. But I love him. He can change. It's really awful. But the other stuff, season 16 was actually really good and had a lot of fun teams in it that I really liked. So anyway, it is what it is, and it is something that I can have on while I'm doing other stuff, so it's not like, I'm glued to my seat, like with some of the shows that I like to watch. So it is what it is. And this is the 18, though, was the one where they had, or 17, I think, was the one where they had the pageant girl on that made that, that whole, she was running for Miss something or other, and they asked her something like, why do you think that people in the world can't find the US on maps or something? And she just was like, her answer was just like fell apart, and then she stopped talking. And so she went on here to prove that she wasn't stupid. And it didn't work. All it proved was that she is bigoted against lesbians. That's all it proved. But she won. And she drug along this model boyfriend of hers that was like, she could have drug along a front fence post and it would have had more personality. Anyway, so hopefully they don't listen. All right, so then I started watching. I finally found that I can watch Bravo on the interwebs as long as I don't want to have large screen or the ability to pause or things like that. But so I finally started watching Top Chef 18 Portland. I'm on episode 2, and of course, as soon as I sign on to the site, they showed me who won. So, I'm still watching it. It's still fun. Some of the chefs on there, like that, the Asian chef, oh, he's adorable.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my goodness, he is
yeah,
adorable.
he is adorable.
And some of the and like I'm not even all the way through episode 2 yet, and already 2 of them have confessed like to how they like abused alcohol and are cleaning themselves up now. And wow, I'm not that I'm against that in any way, but I was just like, wow, I wasn't expecting that so soon, you know.
Oh, well, well, I know you watch enough television that you should, by now that if you don't have some sort of
Story.
story and some sort of like, if you have to deserve to win this
Mm-hmm.
instead of working to winning by doing. You have to, before you can even step up on stage, you have to be able to have a sob enough story
Mm-hmm.
to
For them to sell you.
compete. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, these casting directors are going, well, they had a really good, childhood. We can't get anything out of these people.
Right. The things that I love though is like when they're like, oh, Luke is deaf, and his mom raised him as a single, kid, or so, she was a single parent, or Zeb has Asperger's, so he doesn't understand how to complete stuff, and he doesn't deal with stress that well. And then here's these 2 blonde Barbies who are like Miss Americas, and they've never had a problem in their life, and they want to prove that they're not stupid, and that's their problem. It's like, okay, but I'll tell you, the black Miss America, she kicks some ass. It's like, now that's a Miss America to me. Anyway, so I've also at nighttime kind of gotten to the point where I'm need to take a little break from abridged comedies. So I found Mary Tyler Moore to watch again. I left off on season 6, so I'm just finishing. I just got into season 7 of it, and it is just such a fun show. I mean, I would figure by like season 7, it would have, become just kind of, it's not. It's just, it stands up in many ways, not all, of course, because they're a news show. So there's political jokes and stuff in there that, are very dated. But it was such a great cast, and it's just, yeah, really, really fun show. So I'm really enjoying going back and watching it after I took a 6-month break. I've been powering through projects the last several days. I'm trying to get so many of the little things that I've had to do that I've been putting off wrapped up, because I'm getting ready not only for autumn, but I am like pretty much getting to full-time caretaker with my father, and my mom's going in a little over 2.5 weeks to get a new hip. So we're going to be like Sam's a lot of things, and a lot of things are going to fall on me to take care of. So I'm trying to get all these little projects out of the way so I can
So how long does it take before your mom will be home?
She will be home the next day.
Oh, okay. So they're not putting her into a place for her to recoup?
No, some do. That is an option for some people if they do not have care at home to go through the home physical therapy and stuff. But since she has somebody who can help her, but yeah, she'll be home the next day, and she'll be able to actually get up the steps and things like that into the house, and then start physical therapy the day after, maybe even the same day, depending on how they set it up. And yeah, they don't waste time anymore. They just
well, I know that. I was thinking, oh my God, just those steps.
Yes, the steps are the biggest hurdle. They really are.
I have the same problem because I have the Race Foundation as well, and the steps are, and you think they're not severe, but I know that Honey couldn't handle the steps anymore because of her shoulder, and so that made it. It's like I should have put ramps in, and then I'm just thinking, well, maybe they need to houses need to just stop having steps and start putting in a ramp. Why not a ramp? What's wrong with a ramp?
Right.
Just instead of, new houses, if they're not going to, because I don't think I'll get another house that has stairs at all. Between me getting older and pets and people I know, it makes it hard. I know I hate your steps
Oh,
and
yes.
and the way that the door is not facing the street, so you actually have to turn and then up another very awkward step.
Yeah, and
The
the
house.
the reason that our steps are not to code, and on either front or back, and part of that is because, especially with the front ones, when the owner who owned the house before he lost the house, and et cetera, he actually there were no steps there. He had to put them in himself, and he didn't like do it
Right.
the way that you should. So it really makes it difficult. And there's also no rail. So that makes it even more difficult to maneuver. Now, our sweet Lori Dean, on the back steps, he did install a handrail on the wall so that you can at least pull yourself up and have something to grip onto, but there's no way to do that on the front steps. And so that is something that's very difficult as well. So yeah, and I agree with you. But one of the reasons that we have raised foundations in Sacramento is because the Sacramento back in the olden days actually was a flood zone. And
Sure.
when the river, before they had all the levees and stuff like that, the river would overflow, and then so you had to raise your house up. But it does make for some awkward things.
Well, and the funny thing is that your house and my house would never experience that flood.
Right. Yeah.
But for some reason they still did. All the older housing was all raised for that reason, but
Yeah.
it's not a good reason, but it's a reason.
Yeah.
Because you go out to the suburbs and everybody's, um, on ground level, they all have the cement pad, and there's nothing to it. Because I mean, if you have people with a wheelchair,
Hmm.
well, actually, like I said, your house, because the way the door is, you can't even you can't get someone up a wheelchair in a ramp and then push them into the house because of the way the house is constructed.
Right. Yeah. There's only been one person that I have known of, and he was professionally trained, who was able to get my mother up the front steps in a wheelchair. And that was when she broke her ankle and she was brought home.
Oh,
He was
that's
amazing.
I know, but that's by pulling them backwards up the thing.
No, he did it front way. There is a
What?
technique. There is
Okay.
a technique, and he showed me the technique. There's no fucking way I could do it myself. But
Like,
he was also buff and gorgeous and yummy and had an ass for days. Oh, me too, him. I'm so sorry. But seriously, he was amazing. But me, there's no way I could do that. So sorry.
yeah.
So I'm working on like getting all this stuff like just done and out of the way and cleaned up so that I can just focus on making sure that they have the care that they need, and I can just tackle job projects as they come in. So we already talked about the evacuees. So as I told you before, my father, dear sweet father, such a darling man, spent like for a week, he just spent like most of his time on the floor because he kept falling out of bed. His everything was jacked up. Basically the hospital said, "Hey, look, unless he's ready to croak, don't send him back." So it was really bad. But he snapped out of it, and he's had a week or so where he has been so still so weak that he basically spent most of the time in bed. He could get up and go to the bathroom, and then he could get up and he could kind of carefully walk to the front room and sit for a while and then walk back. Well, the other day he decided that he was going to go outside in the back and sit, and I was like, oh God. So it was a process, a timely process to get him out and then take him back in and everything. But he did it And then the next day I get woken up at 10:30 and it's like, well, he needs blah 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 because he needs to get ready to go. And so he had decided his not girlfriend's son was coming back from someplace, and he decided that he had to be there. So he booked his own transportation, he did his own thing, and I walked him down the stairs and watched him until they picked him up. Just like half a fucking hour standing there with him, talking about the most dingbat things. And he left. And that was Saturday morning. Haven't heard anything from him since. So I'm assuming things are going well. So there we are. I have no idea what condition he's going to be in when he gets back, but if she hasn't called and screamed and yelled and said that he's fallen on his face or he's in the hospital or something, then I'm impressed. The power of wanting to show off and, got him up and got him out. So awesome. And gave us a very nice break too. Yes, I will say that. The other, you keep moving that back and forth. The other things are, I took some time yesterday. I got my Samhain cards ordered. I got my stamps ordered. I got all my my Yuletide stamps and everything ordered. So I got my little project to go with the Yuletide cards. So I have gotten all the holiday stuff like lined up and ready to go. As soon as they get here, they'll sit in the drawer for a little bit, but then I already got that all taken care of, so I didn't have to think about it. So that made me very happy. And then I had a friend who had a birthday or non-birthday, as the case may be, this week. So I went to the store and I wanted to get him little things that he would spark joy in his life. Like we both share a love of Diet Coke, so I got some Diet Coke for him. He's a terrible drunk. Well, some only nightly. So I got him some vodka. And
he's not terrible. He's very good at it.
A lot of practice. And normally he has carrot cake every year. And he hasn't for the last couple of years that I know of. So I wanted to, give him that because I know it's his tradition to always have some carrot cake on his birthday and a nice big gigantic fun balloon, which I thought was really fun, and put it all in a bag and took it over and left it on the steps and ran because, COVID. So I did that this week, and that was kind of my week.
And by the way, what was interesting was my ring did not even pick you up. That's how thin you are now.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
But so I'm hearing a strange noise on the front steps, and I'm like, I pick up my phone and turn my ring on, and there's you, I think, I don't notice you because there's this huge round thing.
That would be me. No.
And it's weird because it's not your ordinary balloon. This is it's like an round earth. If that was a real thing, it was like a round earth balloon. So it's huge. It's huge. It's still in my living room. And I'm waiting for the day that I hear a noise and come out in the middle of the night and think that that's a person standing there.
I have done stuff like that before.
Yeah. And but I haven't broken into the vodka or the Diet Cokes, but the cake took 2 days, but I finished it.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And it was the frosting was really good.
Yeah, I got a piece for myself too, so I could help celebrate.
Okay.
And I was really impressed with that cake. And that was a store-made cake.
Yeah,
so,
I could tell.
Yeah, but I mean, I was surprised at how good it actually was. Um, anyway, so I'm glad.
Well,
I'm glad that was fun. I wanted to spark a little joy for you.
well, you were the only one that did.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I got nothing else. But then I wanted nothing else. I didn't want
That's
it,
true. You put it
so
out there.
and what happened was Sean had a dentist appointment. So when he
Mhm.
came home from the dentist appointment, he goes, "Oh, well, let's, I'm hungry and it's 2 o'clock." And so we got some chow mein and some General Chicken. And then I was so full that I didn't want to go to McCooney's.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't do my McCooney's on my birthday, but it was like I was still full. Like 6 o'clock at night, I'm still got chow mein on my, I can still feel it.
Mhm.
And it was like, I don't want to force down
Yeah.
something I love that's expensive just to spin a wheel on my birthday. I'd rather save it. So we'll probably go Wednesday or something this week,
Cool.
um, and call it a birthday anniversary
Nice
or something.
celebration.
But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great. Yeah. And I love that balloon. I thought that was so neat because I don't like balloons unless they're mylar. Mylar are okay, but regular balloons I can't stand them. But that was such a cool one. All right. Well, that aside, let's go ahead and remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who have been told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And you can do that by going over to fatmarkerclothing.com and using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything on the site. And I went over there and I found some really cool socks actually. Dancing Flare, you can find them over there, and they're really cool, super stylish socks. So that if you ever go to a sock hop or something, which there are been at some bars that had sock hops going on, and they were very cool. You can be the most fabulous one there. So go over there and grab that. All right, it's time for advice. And well, okay, this one isn't too long. I have a happy marriage for the most part. Oh, by the way, this comes from dearprudieslate.com. Go check them out. Get a subscription. Worship them. Let's see if you want. I have a happy marriage for the most part. I'm a take charge kind of woman, and my husband normally is happy to let me be in control of most situations. Unless they are serious issues dealing with our family, our marriage works on that capacity. The trouble that I have is in the bedroom. I actually want the opposite. I want him to take the lead, be more commanding, and me to be more submissive. He goes along, does what I want, and half the time I have to guide him, goad him, and tell him to tell me what he wants, or I just simply do it. I'm finding it difficult to have a discussion with him about what turns my crank, per se. Our sex life is good. We both walk away satisfied, but I just know it would be so much better for me if he went outside his normal personality a bit. How do I suggest I go about telling him, hey, I want you to be more demanding, bossy, alpha dominant in bed, you wuss. Oh no, not the wuss, you wuss. But anyway, so
it sounds like a lot of work.
it's definitely more than the 3 minutes because the show's coming back on. So
Yeah, it's like, come on, it's
well,
really now. Now we have to have props. Maybe that what she needs to do is go, okay, next time I'll be a cave woman and you'll be a caveman and you're gonna take me. Okay, then maybe role playing might help.
hmm,
You know,
good role playing could help. Yeah.
you know, and you know, I want you to drag me to the bedroom. See, when it starts getting like this, I'm always afraid that boundaries are going to be overstepped. And the thing is, maybe that's not his thing.
Oh, and that's the thing. It's
what about how
probably
he
not.
feels?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's true. But with stuff like that and intimacy, et cetera, there is a give and take. So maybe what he wants sometimes is to just, have sex.
I know.
And
Gag her and tie her up, have sex with her, leave her for a half hour, and say, "Okay, is that better?"
yeah, exactly.
But
But
definitely
I do
gag her.
get that though, because I can understand you want to sometimes the psychology of sex in this way in relationship, and not all relationships, but a lot of relationships, are the more dominant you are in life, like your job, you have to be in control all the time, et cetera, et cetera. When it comes to sex, it's more common that that person wants to give up control. And it's the same when you have somebody that is like works a job, or is in a relationship or whatever in their life where they don't have a lot of control, and they are constantly being, having to be submissive to bosses or jerks or whatever in their life. When they get into a sexual situation, they often want to be more dominant. They want to act out that, the opposite. And that tends to be a running theme, in sexuality. So the only way you're going to get through this is if you just sit down and bluntly say, look, this is what I want, and I will 50-50 it. If you can give me this half the time where you just completely dominate me and treat me like a dirty slut, and talk, say horrible things to me, et cetera, and the other 50% of the time I will reverse cowgirl you and be the one in charge. So, well, I'm just saying, it's got to be a 50-50 split. But if you can't just sit there and talk to him openly about what floats your boat, then you do have some communication problems in your marriage.
No, this is too much work. I'm exhausted. And
You know what? Here's the thing. They're probably like 5 to 6 years into their marriage. Give them another year or so, and they'll be doing it on a commercial just to get done so they can go watch Ted Lasso. All right. Oh, I forgot. There's an answer to this. So
And
anyway,
I
that is
wrote a little bit about it. It's very funny.
Oh, okay. So here's what Dear Prudie has to say. It is somewhat ironic that you're in a position of saying, okay, next on the agenda, I order you to stop taking orders from me when we're in bed and start acting more like a caveman. I want to drive. Okay.
I did not read that before I said it.
Okay. And take me against the stop with the alarms. And take me against the bathroom wall while we're getting ready to go out because you find me so sexy you can't wait. The reason, oh gosh, it's such a trope. The reason the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy was such a sensation is because lots of women, even alpha women like yourself, want to feel taken in bed. But when you're an alpha woman and you have an egalitarian relationship, it's hard to say, please be a beast. I understand the quality of writing in 50 Shades is execrable. I don't think I've ever said that word out loud. Excretable? No. Okay, anyway, but the book does provide you with an opening. Get it. Go to some of the relevant passages, show them to your husband and say, this turns me on. Then talk to him about how your sex life is great and satisfying, but you have a desire to be dominated in bed. Say you know this takes you out of your familiar roles, but you think it would be good for the two of you to be more wild in bed. maybe he will rise to the challenge, or maybe your beta male will need more instruction from you on how you don't want to give him any more instruction. Yeah, so for those of you who don't have the visual here, Tom yawned.
Yeah. It's kind of like the whole puppy dog thing that's going on right now. Yeah, all these guys that are dressing like dogs.
Oh, going on right now. It's been going on for a while. But yeah, puppy
Yeah.
play. I
But-
get it. I don't
well, you're
understand
seeing more
it.
of- I mean, they over at the Bolt, they had bring your puppy to the Bolt day, where the
Yeah.
puppies can play in the back while you're having drinks, and it's like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not taking my boyfriend who insists on sleeping in a kennel because it's part of his character.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't deal with that. I'm no.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, my thing is when it comes to sex and relationship, regardless of how many people are involved.
Well, let's call it sex because you don't have relationships. So.
Well, thank you for that. True, but thank you for being hurtful. But to me, it's like whatever we do in bed and in the bedroom between us or whoever we've invited in is in the bedroom. But when we put the toys away and we get dressed and we walk outside the bedroom door, no boy, dad, no role play, no costumes. It's like I'm totally for exploration and everything else when it comes to, the sex stuff. But when we walk through the door, we are our equal partners or free partners, whatever gets you there. Yeah, that's the bedroom stuff. That's not our actual life stuff. But some people want to continue acting out their fetish in other ways. I never got the puppy play stuff because we had a friend, a dear sweet friend, who was into it, and he said that he was at an event where they had I don't know, 13, 20 pups or whatever, all doing their puppy things. In a kennel, in a big cage, and all their masters were standing around and being fine. And then one of the participants of the thing came into the kennel as a cat and meowed. And they were so into being their puppy identities that they all started to rush to attack the cat. And I just, at that point, went, no.
Oh, how about the ones that want to be walked in the backyard so they can poop?
I have recently actually heard a story about that, and about one of them that was taken for a walk on the street and pooped. And I just said, no, absolutely not. That is not my world. I will not judge you for your world, but I do not want to see that part of your world.
So they poop in the yard and then they drag their ass across the grass to wipe it. And then they want to go back in the house.
Now you're just scaring everybody. Kathy Reagan right now is like power eating something to try to calm her nerves.
I don't understand it. I just, I'll tell you, I've done a little bit of role playing and it's always, I found it very disturbing.
I guess it goes to where you take it. But now I'm kind of wondering if like Moose P is like looking at his husband and envisioning a big bunny suit.
Oh, that would actually be cute on him.
Bunny play. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh my God.
All right. Hey Chubs, what's your favorite flavor of pudding?
Pudding. Wow. Pudding. Who eats pudding? I would probably say banana.
Oh, okay.
A banana. I always liked pistachio pudding was good.
Hmm.
And that's how I actually got introduced into pistachios, because they always scared me, because back in the early days, pistachios, the shells were red. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are they red? And no one could give me a good reason. So I didn't understand that, but I did like the pistachio pudding, and vanilla's okay. But like chocolate, I don't like it. Always gets the bleemus, and I don't like bleemus.
I don't. I used when I was a kid, chocolate was my favorite, but as I grew up, it's not. I like vanilla. Sometimes a good butterscotch.
Oh,
Uh,
butterscotch, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but actually, cheesecake pudding is one of my new faves.
It's not pudding.
It is. It's pudding that is flavored like cheesecake, and you can actually put it in a pie, but it's still not actually cheesecake. It's just pudding. But
Okay.
since it has a lot of dairy in it, and since it has a lot of sugar in it, I don't really eat it anymore. But
Right,
if I
right.
did, and you can make it with lactose tolerant, lactose-free milk, I believe, but I haven't really attempted that. All right. Hey Chubs, beef or chicken tacos?
Beef.
I can do both, but I think beef is my preference as well.
Yeah,
And not the string beef, but like just
ground
hamburger.
beef. Yeah,
Yeah, ground
yeah.
beef.
Well, I like both. I like any kind of beef. I like the string as well. But yeah, when I was a kid, no, I guess it wasn't a kid. It was, remember when everyone was trying to be healthier, and then it was like chicken tacos, always chicken
Yeah,
tacos.
or
And
fish.
and and then I moved back to Sacramento, and I remembered Jim Boys.
Oh yeah.
And when I was a kid, you got the Jim Boys tacos, and while you were eating them, you had to. Well, this I had to. I don't know if everyone had to. I would take a handful of napkins, and put them under my eating hand at the elbow. So
Oh, okay.
I'm
Oh
eating a
yeah, yeah,
taco.
yeah.
I'm eating it like this, yum yum, yum
Mhm.
yum, and the grease would be
Yeah.
running down my. And instead of getting it on myself, I'd have the napkin there to catch it,
Nice.
and it worked pretty well. I mean, you still had the
Mm.
red grease,
Yeah.
like stained on your arm, but it worked. But and then after that, it's been like, if I go to Carolina's by your house, it's the beef tacos. If I go to Taco Bell, it's beef tacos.
Yeah.
Wherever I get tacos from,
Yep.
it's the ground beef.
Yep. I actually, now that I'm older, wrap a napkin around the end of a taco because I just have developed even more of a thing of grace wrap. But
So you diaper the taco?
pretty much I diaper sandwiches now too. I whenever I eat a sandwich or a hamburger or anything like that, I always wrap the end of it because I'm just a messy eater on top of it. I don't need help.
See, if
But
there's mayonnaise involved, I don't mind getting it all over.
because then you can lick yourself clean.
Yeah.
But Mr. Lurie Dean actually made some chicken tacos the other night that were absolutely superb. And that actually had the best shells that I've ever had, homemade shells. Beautiful. Okay, trivia question for you. How much money does Jennifer Aniston make from Friends each year?
I don't know, probably 5 million.
That is a good guess, but no. Jennifer Aniston earns $20 million per year from Friends reruns. Jennifer Aniston is one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, and it's all thanks to Friends.
Oh, well, what do the other ones make from it?
Don't know, but probably not as much as her.
Why not? They all were making the same amount of money during the thing.
Well, let's see. Okay, what's Chandler Bing's name? Matthew Perry makes annually from Friends. No. Oh, altogether, this amounts to earnings around $20 million per year.
So
So
they
maybe
probably
they all do make the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes an estimated 1 billion. So Friends makes an estimated $1 billion in syndication deals each year. And according to 2015, Perry and his classmates earn a 2% cut from these deals, which amount to $20 million a year.
There you go. So they all make it. I
That's
figured
good.
I figured they would, because it's just there was never uh, like, okay, on Modern Family, Jay, Al Bundy, the actor whose name I always forget.
Ed Harris.
Yeah. He made more on Modern Family than the rest, but
Okay.
the rest of the actors made the same, are close to the same amount of money.
Yeah.
The adult actors
Mm.
made about the same amount of money. He made just a little bit more. Although Gloria was the one who made the most money every year because of her endorsements
Yeah.
and her commercials and stuff like that. She was
Fun.
every
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that, especially since Friends, when they started out, not all of them were really that known. I mean, Courtney Cox was
No,
probably the most known
she
of
was only
them.
recognizable because she was in the Bruce Springsteen video.
Yeah, no, but she had also done a number of series, including that sci-fi Misfits of Science. Remember that? She was
No.
in that. Matthew Perry just came off a sitcom where he played like a cop or something. And then Matt LeBlanc, he was in all sorts of guest stars on all sorts of things because he was pretty, including, talking about Ed Harris, he was Kelly Bundy's boyfriend for a while.
It's not Ed Harris.
Oh, no, you're right. What was his name then?
Ed.
So I'm sure listeners are screening it at us.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
are. They are. It's Don't it doesn't matter.
I will find out. His name is Ed O'Neill.
O'Neill, that's right. Yeah.
That makes more sense. Ed Harris is the other guy.
Yeah, sure. He's the other guy.
Well, he's an actor.
Yes, he is. He's the other Ed Harris.
Yeah. He's hot. Okay. What's in your lunchbox? Well, Mr. Michael Sage wrote in and he said, here's what's in my lunchbox. And he showed us. Although there it is. Wait a minute. This is Michael. Yes, this is Michael. Stuffed baked potato with fake vegan meat and fresh cooked spinach. He said it was so good you couldn't even I don't know. Tell?
I'm sure it was good, but if that came to my table, I'd be going, what is this?
I think I would try that because that actually looks. Sure.
I'd try it, but oh God, and it's vegan on top of it. I don't know.
Well, this actually looks edible, not like the weird burger thing I had at an actual vegan restaurant where I'm like, where did you dig this up in the garden 5 minutes ago? And then tried to make it look like something.
I mean, it does.
It's mushroom meat with nut cheese.
The cheese does look real.
Yeah, well, it is.
And melty, but it's vegan cheese, so it's not.
No, it's not. It's not vegan cheese.
And the
fake vegan meat.
Oh, okay.
But the potato and everything with the cheese and everything is real.
The bacon
looks like there's a lot of grease.
The bacon bits look good. But they're fake.
Probably not bacon, but yeah.
I know, but I'm saying they look good.
Yeah.
But the big blob of spinach on top of a baked potato, don't understand, but okay.
Yeah, that may not have been my choice to put it on top, but yeah, whatever gets you there.
Right.
All right. Well, Mr. Moose wrote in, and he had a few different things to send in. Starting with
He's obviously gone wild right here.
Yes, he was on his vacation.
Right.
Um,
What is,
so
what is it? What is it?
went to a Russian restaurant for dinner. I don't know what to call these, but they were tasty. Mine was a beef stroganoff of sorts, tender strips of lean steak and mushrooms with creamy, mild mustard served with barley. Husband got a chicken dish served over mashed potatoes. He loved his. And then there's mixed vegetables with chicken in a Thai fish sauce, light, healthy, and filling. Chicken and mixed vegetables in a fish sauce, yummy. Carrot birthday cupcake from Whole Foods, wasn't bad. It looked damn good to me.
Yeah.
And then got more Thai food. Hubby got chicken pad Thai, and liked it. I got chicken and green beans in a hot chili sauce. Was good. And you can see all those amazing photos, including Mr. Michael's vegan potato over at Chubs, facebook.com/Chubs Gone Wild. And definitely they are worth checking out, especially what is this one? The cupcake. I'm sorry, it looks really good. And then some of that chicken pad Thai. Is that not pad Thai? Chicken and green beans and chili sauce. Looks
Yeah,
really
the pad
good.
Thai is the one with the carrots.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. And the chicken with the green beans looks really good. And the chicken with the mixed vegetables looks really good.
Yeah.
And that chicken with the mashed potatoes, that looks really good. And even the beef stroganoff with the barley everything looks really good.
Yeah. I
I
don't
want
know. I'm
I
not a
want
stroking
Chris
off
to take
fan.
me on vacation and feed me.
I know. He would be perfect to go to a foodie vacation with.
Yes, foodie vacation with theater.
Yes.
And
Oh,
him and his husband love theater too. So it's just
yeah.
like
Yep.
good looks, likes to eat, and
Totally.
loves theater. It's not fair.
No.
Oh,
No.
and works around the house. Oh my God, would I love that?
I know. Did you see that one post where he's all way up in the rafters and he's putting stuff up and he's like, guess what I'm doing? And I'm like, putting up your Christmas trees. But all right.
Oh,
Currently, LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento, along with the HIV Community Planning Council, want you to know that there is an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective when preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic and get started on protecting your sexual health today. Also, you can contact Golden Rule at sacgrs.org. And with that, we invite you to send us an email at chubsgonewild.com, which you can also send us photos of what's in your lunchbox. Just tell us what's going on. Send us photos in general. We're all good. And also leave us a comment, chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Please become a patron of the show, or at least consider it, over at patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com. Find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. And find out more about Matt's books at justkisstheguy.com and check out his other podcast at biggaysexshow.com. Watch videos of the show at youtube.com/c/Matthew Burlingame. And of course, you can always give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yes. And also, I do have to say that I got a few more really, really good reviews of Last Romance this week, and was just really, really thrilled with the way people are responding to it. So I really want to thank everybody for that. And with that, it is time to bring this episode to a close. We love you all. Please stay in touch. Have a wonderful week, etc., etc. All right, we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.